Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Arrow Season 8, the final season for Arrow. This is going to be my review for Episode 3, Episode Trey, whatever you want to call it, otherwise entitled Leap of Faith. And yeah. But of course, if you have not watched the episode, go watch it because, well, spoilers and some big stuff happens in this episode, so go watch the episode if you haven't. But if you have watched the episode and you're going to enjoy the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on the episode. And one quick thing I want to ask you guys, would you want a reaction to the series finale? So episode 10, the final ever episode of Arrow. If you do, let me know in the comments or leave a like on the video to show me that you want that type of video. Because if you guys want that, I'll do it when that episode does roll around. But last episode, obviously episode 2, we were in Hong Kong. We had Lyla pretty much revealed, not as Harbinger, they didn't straight up say she was Harbinger, but it was revealed that she was working with the Monitor, and we basically got to experience some cool stuff from, the season 3 aspect of things in regards to the flashbacks. Some nice little throwbacks there with Katana and stuff like that, and even China White. So yeah, it was a really solid episode. Now, one important thing about this episode, because it sort of explains the absence of a character, Katie Cassidy directed the episode, so that explains why Laurel isn't in this episode at all. She is in next episode, but because Katie was directing the episode, it just would have been too much for her to even just appear in the episode as Laurel. So if you're wondering where Laurel was in the episode, the actress was directing. So yeah. But we do start off the episode by just appearing straight in Nanda Parbat. And I do like that about the episodes this season. They are just jumping straight where we need to be, where the mission lies and stuff like that. Like in episode 1, we woke up on Earth 2. Episode 2, Oliver wakes up in Hong Kong. We're just going straight there, which I really do like. They're just getting straight into the nitty gritty of it. There's not 5 minutes of setup, which usually isn't that interesting. So I'm really liking what they're doing here. Like, they easily could have had Oliver start off the episode in Hong Kong after talking to Katana and then, to have another discussion with Diggle and then go to Nanda Parbat. But in this episode, it just goes straight there, and I love that. Now, of course, as most of you guys would have known, as it was in the promo, or like the trailer, the promo images, and even the synopsis, Thea is returning in this episode and we get like an interesting way for her to return in the form of fighting her brother, which I thought was pretty interesting. Now, we do find out that she's actually still after the Thanatos Guild after destroying all the Lazarus Pits. That's happened. I think they say something about like Nissa's gone to deal with something League of Assassins wise or something. Even though that's disbanded, there was still some stuff she needed to deal with. So yeah, Nissa's not on the episode, there's the explanation, and Roy apparently has come back to see her. But obviously he is gone since then. But Thea is still after the Thanatos Guild, still has a scar from Athena, the leader of the Thanatos Guild, on her face. So yeah, Thea's still being a pretty big badass. Now, one of the nice scenes in this episode was definitely the campfire scene with Thea and Oliver. I just thought it was nice in general, where basically they just go over everything. So yeah, but Oliver reveals what's happening to him, everything that's happened before, and that he is set to die. And Thea's obviously in that mentality like, haha, well, you faced death all those times before. And Oliver sort of explains the seriousness of it, but then this whole thing about the Monitor and or Mano Vu comes out, which sort of leads them down the mission or the expedition for this episode. But just the Thea and Oliver scenes in this episode, which just them two having a chat, I thought were pretty much the best parts of the episode, sorry. Now, Lyla and Diggle have sort of like a side story or side mission in this episode. It's around finding Sandra and Connor Hawke. Basically, this is pretty much to set up the Connor Hawke connection there. Now, we do get some throwbacks to season 2 or 3? What was the first Suicide Squad mission? Was that in season 2 or 3? Remind me in the comments. It's one of them. I think it might be season 2 though. But you get some throwbacks to that and that whole Suicide Squad mission where Bronze Tiger kills that dude. Was it Bronze Tiger? Yeah, Bronze Tiger kills. I think that's why they took Sandra and Connor Hawke. But this side story I thought was decent. I think it was just to just set up that whole Connor Hawke thing. But Lyla and Diggle, they're always a good match, so no complaints there. Now, Talia Al Ghul returns. Once again, we knew this thanks to the promo images, and I think even a shot in the trailer, we do see her as well. Now, she's going to help Oliver repay the debt by sort of going on this hunt within Nanda Parbat, but obviously I think a lot of us pretty much knew that Talia wasn't going to stay too loyal, at least, for too long. So we'll get to that, but it was still cool to have her back there, even though she does come good in the end. Now, I did like the sort of like what they went for in this episode, the whole like scavenger hunt looking for the sword. I mean, I did like how they basically used all like the booby traps and just the whole just underground of Nanda Parbat. I thought was just an interesting place to be because we've never really been there. We'd been in the innards or the the inner workings of Nanda Parbat in certain areas like that. But we hadn't really been in an area like this where it was pretty much like a tomb or, as I said, like the catacombs in some areas. Now, once again, similar to the campfire scene with Thea towards the beginning of the episode, we do get that scene with Oliver and Thea like on the like the cliffside, if you want to call it, looking out at the sun, just having a chat, almost like reminiscing about past things about them being heroes and just their past lives and stuff like that, which I thought was a great scene. Like, as I've said in like previous episodes, and I'm going to say in future episodes, if scenes like this do happen, I think scenes pretty much with Oliver and past characters, or even characters that are still on the show in like a regular aspect, like Diggle and stuff like that, just these scenes between Oliver and them just talking and reminiscing or just having a chat, I think are going to be the best scenes, just because it's just nice character moments. Even in the past, they've been some of the best scenes. Like even on other shows like The Flash, Barry and Joe, when they just have a chat, you know it's going to be such a good scene and arguably probably the best scene of the episode. So just having scenes like this is just great to see, and I'm definitely going to savor them, seeing it's the last season. Now that Thea and Talia al Ghul fight, like I was sort of on the edge of my seat because honestly, because it's the last season, we don't know what's happening with these characters. Like, sure, you might think, no, they won't kill the character off here, but you're not sure. I honestly had a feeling that Thea might have died there. There was a point where I thought, is Talia going to kill Thea? There was almost a point there, but then Thea eventually gets the upper hand. But, you know, they've basically set up the season where you never know what's going to happen. But League of Heroes is brought up, like the League of Assassins is like officially dead. League of Heroes, I don't know, you can, I guess, assume what you want from that. Like, does that mean they're making the League of Assassins into just a group of heroes and like a group of like good vigilantes? Or are they teasing like a Justice League type group there? I guess it's up to your imagination or presumptions or assumptions what they're going to do there. But if you have any opinions on that, let me know in the comments. Now, the League of Assassins records do suggest that the Monitor, or Ma Novu, is what will actually cause what is coming, not prevent it. So that's a big thing for Oliver going forward. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles that, especially if he does come across the Monitor again. And it will be interesting to see if that's like a massive part going forward, like consistently, or if it's just one thing where Oliver might confront the Monitor. It'll be interesting to see. Now, the Thea and Oliver goodbye was actually harder than I thought it would be. I honestly teared up, I'm not going to lie, because Thea's meant to be a recurring character this season. When they announced that Willa Holland was coming back as Thea Queen, they said she was back as a recurring role. So that can mean, 2 or 3 episodes. So maybe this just means that this is actually the last time that Thea sees Oliver. And then maybe she's in the finale episode, which will be, I guess, Oliver's funeral, or just like a wrap-up episode where we see Thea for a bit of the episode. So if that was like legitimately the last scene between Thea and Oliver in the chat that they had, then I think it was a good one, because it honestly felt like a final goodbye. Like the way it was acted and everything like that made it seem like it was a final goodbye. So it almost makes you think that like if there is another interaction between the two, it won't be as good. Like that should be their final goodbye. But if it is, like, man, I find it hard to watch. I actually teared up because Oliver and Thea have had such a good scenes in the, throughout the show's history, like since season 1. So it was pretty tough to see it come to an end potentially. Now the flash forwards in this episode, still not great. They were above the average for them, so I guess there's some credit there. They were okay compared to what they were before, but still not great. This was arguably Catherine McNamara's best episode though, and I think that comes down to the fact that she had some good scenes with William and Zoe, but also she didn't have to act badass in this episode, and I think that's where the character seems a bit corny and crap, is because Catherine McNamara just isn't a natural badass. Like she fits a certain character and she just doesn't fit that certain character. So she just seems to do better with the emotional stuff, or at least playing that type of character. Obviously, Zoe is dead, so F in the chat. It was a bit weird that Mia didn't see JJ getting up to stab Zoe. Felt a bit weird, like late reaction much, but yeah, big F in the chat for Zoe. But it was pretty obvious either William or Zoe was going to die, so I think Zoe's the easy one to get rid of considering what happens right next. And of course, what happens right next? Well, that WTF ending where pretty much Connor's about to kill JJ, like he's going to slice his neck. So that JJ Deathstroke was going to die, but then there's a big flash of lightning and the whole screen flashes white basically, and Oliver then appears in the bunker back in Star City, and Dinah, Renee and Diggle are all there, and they're obviously looking at someone behind Oliver or a group of people, and we turn around and Connor Hawke, Mia and William have actually traveled back in time. So obviously this is the Monitor that's brought them back. But it is going to be interesting to see like what purpose have these 3 people been brought back? Like, did it have to be specifically these 3, or it's just because the situation that, like, I guess like Mia was in, that these other 2 had to be brought back as well? It's going to be interesting to see like what gets revealed next episode. Stephen Amell has talked about in an interview that his best scene, or his favorite scene for the next episode, actually comes with him and William. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do from here on in with these characters, because it seems like we're not getting any more flash forwards. But I don't think these characters are all going to stay in the past. I think at least Connor and William will go back to the future. And this will be like once the monitor's done, because obviously the monitor's brought back. They didn't come through a time travel machine or something and just appear here, and then they can just go back when they want, or they're stuck here now. The monitor brought them back, so I'm guessing the monitor can send them back. But no more flash forwards. That's a good thing. Hopefully no more flash forwards. We can just have a nice present day storyline. Hopefully that's what happens from now on. It just will be interesting to see how these characters impact the present day storyline and whether they maybe get in the way. But that's for us to wait and see. But overall, another very strong episode of Arrow. Love the interactions between Oliver and Thea. And just being back in Nanda Parbat, I thought was a nice little touch. Just, once again, sort of like a season 3 vibe with all the stuff going on there. And even some season 5 stuff with Talia. So it was just nice being back there. And yeah, just another solid episode. And Arrow's continuing its run. Just an amazing last season, and I couldn't be happier. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on what we went over in the video. What was your favourite part? What was your least favourite part? Any theories or thoughts you have that I didn't go over or you want to continue on, let me know in the comments. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.